there. So I'm going to record this as a live because it's going to be way more than 90 seconds. So you're welcome to stay if you want to hear more about my story and my why. I'm going to share a little bit more about my background, where I come from, so you get to know me and you get to figure out what it is that I do, if I am able to help you, or just if you want to know more about like my story. So I'm not gonna get started on like when I was born and so on, but I will say that I grew up wanting to be a lawyer. My dad is a lawyer, my grandfather was a lawyer and then a judge. So that had a huge impact on shaping my life. So I know now through the work that I'm doing that, you know, all of these programmings were put into my brain from 0 to 7 years old. And being a lawyer was something that I always identified with. And I knew that it was going to be in my life's path. So I'm looking at my notes because I have notes because I'm organized. So as a lawyer, but also as a student, I always had really high standards for myself. Like I held myself to a higher standard, and some would say an unattainable standard, which I would later come to learn. So I was always striving, even at school, to be the best for various reasons. And I did the same at work. So I obviously went to law school, became a lawyer, and then I worked for 15 years. As a lawyer in different environments. I did private practice, I did not-for-profit, government, and in every single situation that I found myself, I was always striving for excellence and for perfection, which I later learned wasn't a good thing for me or for anybody for that matter. And I was always doing, and I was always trying to help. And helping is not a bad thing. Like I'm still doing that, right? However, when it impacts you negatively, that's when you have to put a stop. And these are the things that I've learned now. So I was always helping, and especially so when I switched in 2019, I was working in private practice. I was extremely tired. I was working on these gigantic files. I was managing a team, and I was exhausted. So I took a job with the government, which I thought was going to give me more work-life balance. So this was the summer of 2019 when I took this cushy government job that, you know, I could do from 9 to 5, and it was going to be great. I did that from June 2019 till about like end of January 2020. And we all know what happened then. When that happened, then work became what used to be like a normal 9 to 5 job, and then turned into a 24/7 always on call job. I was working on the procurement side, which means procurement means buying things, procuring items. And I was working on like military stuff, big things. And then because of COVID, I had to work on getting essential supplies such as PPE, hospitals. We bought mobile hospitals. We bought so many things, and all were urgent. And put yourself back in January, February, March, April, May of 2020. We were all a bit afraid. It was a very uncertain time. We didn't know what was going on. I was feeling an incredible amount of stress, and I was taking it all in. Like I was doing it all. I remember one specific weekend where I worked, I believe it was between 16 hours in 2 days on Saturday, Sunday. And those were supposed to be my days off because I worked Monday to Friday from 9 or 8 a.m. until 10 or 11 p.m. So a horrific time. At the beginning, I was running on adrenaline, and I was running on the concept that I was helping people, because helping has always been a big driver of mine. I want to help people, and I felt like I was contributing. What happened is that this pace of work continued on for another year. So by May of 2021, I had been doing this work of never ending never having boundaries. Like I was woken up by my work phone to answer things because the minister was doing something or we needed to do something in China. I like so many things. I remember one Friday night, I was going to go into my sauna because that was our big COVID purchase, we thought. And I was going into the basement. Everything was done. It was 7:30 on a Friday. I had a glass of wine with me and I was just like, okay, I'm going to relax. And then my work phone rings. And my husband said to me, don't answer it. And I said, like, I don't have an option. I have to answer this phone. And he's like, no, you don't have to. Anyway, fight ensued. I obviously answered the phone. And then I worked all weekend up until 1 a.m. that Friday because there was an emergency. Now I know that emergencies are life and death, as explained by my doctor and my therapist right after, because so I was on this like fight or flight constantly. So my stress levels were insane. I wasn't taking care of myself. I think I was like on survival mode. And at some point, I was then volunteered to another position, a promotion, which was even more work. And I felt like I couldn't say no. Now I understand that I could have very well said no. And that even though I was told like this wasn't good for my career advancement if I said no, now I understand that I should have said like whatever. But again, I have no regrets, because all of that led me to where I am now. And I'm in a really good place, but I had to go through all that shit to understand all that, because I'm hard-headed and I needed to learn these lessons. So anyway, I took this job with this guy who's awful, and it got from bad to worse, and I was not doing okay. I was not sleeping. Then when I went to bed, I had my heart racing. I wasn't okay. I wasn't good. And by May of that year, I was having like a Teams coffee with a friend because we couldn't meet in person. We were locked down again. And I was just bawling. Like I was just crying all the time and telling her that I didn't want to do this anymore. And she rightfully asked me if I meant like my life or if I meant work. And I said, I mean work. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to do this anymore. So I left that phone call with my friend with a plan to talk to my doctor. And I got really lucky and I got a cancellation with my doctor the next day. And when I spoke with him, and I was crying and I was like, I don't know what I need to do about this. Like, I don't know that there's anything you can do, but like, I'm not okay mentally. And I know you deal with like physical stuff, but mentally I'm not okay. Anyway, he told me that I was like the 7th person on that day that he was putting on medical stress leave from mental health because of what was going on. So, and then began a really long process of finding the way back to me and finding me. So who is Marie if Marie is not a lawyer? And that was a big one because if you recall, like I was 4 years old when I knew that I was going to be a lawyer. So it was really hard. And then I met with my therapist, whom I love. She's amazing. And one of the first questions was like, so what do you like to do? What are your hobbies? It's like, I don't have hobbies. I don't have hobbies. Like, what are you talking about? So it was a big period of self-reflection and trying to find who is me? Like, who am I? And I took a lot of time away that I needed to learn to sleep. So I was on some medication to sleep. I was on some antidepressants, and I really needed those to get my foundation back to a place that made sense. And I'm really, really grateful for all the support that I got. And then eventually, a year later, I was able to get back to work. And was I excited about it? No. But I really felt like I needed to go back. Because my insurer wanted me to go back, right? I was on medical leave, so insurance was paying. And I needed to prove to myself that I was able to go to a legal environment and applying all of these new learnings. So applying my boundaries, applying all these learnings, being able to work with really good schedules, with setting down rules, I learned to sit on my hands and not volunteer for every single thing. So I was not super excited to go back, but I was also happy to go back because that proved to myself that I could do it. But the week before I was to come back, or a few weeks before, we came to Costa Rica. And I say we came because now I live in Costa Rica. But we visited Costa Rica because we had read about a couple and a family with their kids who had sold everything in Canada and moved to Costa Rica. And we had just been exploring the idea of like living somewhere else, doing something different, because we don't, like, we were such conventional rule followers. My husband's a lawyer as well, and we just worked throughout the beginning of, our whole adulthood. We were just working. So the idea was alluring, but at the same time really scary, because that's not the type of people that we were. We were not people who sell everything and move to a different country. But anyway, we came here, we visited, we absolutely fell in love with the place, with the energy of Costa Rica, with the people, with the nature. Like, it is absolutely beautiful. And we feel like a very kind of way when we're here. And so we bought a house on that first trip, and because we knew we wanted to come here at least part-time. So we bought the house. We got back home to Canada. I started back my job, and then I found a business opportunity online, so an affiliate marketing position. And so it's still a business that I have until this day, because it is something that generates money for my family, is good for the environment, is good for your health, and I really love it. I don't talk about it much anymore here because it is all automated. Like, it all runs on ads on various platforms. So that's something that I implemented. And when you get into that space of starting to be an entrepreneur, you really realize that you have to do the inner work, and you have to keep doing it in order to be successful and to see the growth that you're looking for. And it really challenges you and pushes you out of your comfort zone. So, I read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Rich AF, You Are a Badass at Making Money, like all of these mindset books and tools, and I was really, really enamored by them because it showed the power of our minds. And so, like, I felt like a completely new world had opened up for me. So I'm really so grateful for that opportunity, and for Carissa for showing that to me. And like, I still love that business. It's an amazing opportunity, and I get to coach people in there as well. So I really love being able to do that. So now we're back in Canada. I have this business. I'm back at work, but I work 9 to 5 like a normal person. So I'm great, right? So this was 2022, I believe. Yeah, 2022. I'm back. I do a gradual return to work. It's going well. My side business is going well, but I'm still feeling like this isn't it. Like, there's more to my life. So I start a life coaching certification with the Jay Shetty coaching certification. I go through it. It's really great. I feel like there's still something missing. Like, I did the coaching and I was like, I feel like I still have tools that I'm missing that I can't quite put my finger on. And I kept reading like self-development books and books about creating this life. So even if you think about like the wealth creation, it's wealth manifestation and how you do that and so on. So with all of those books, it kind of led me to this certification by Yes Supply, where on top of being a mindset coach and a life coach, I've also gotten certifications in emotional freedom therapy. So the tapping, I've gotten certifications in like a cousin of neuro-linguistic programming, but without going into the event, and as well as hypnosis. So all these tools tap into your subconscious mind as opposed to your conscious mind. And when I found this, I thought this was absolutely amazing, because while I had spent so much time in therapy, I was able to release things in one coaching session. And like, that was amazing. And still to this day, I still do practice regular coaching. I have a coach who does that with me because, we keep finding things and we keep doing things. And it's not like I haven't had major traumas in my life. I've been blessed with a very good life, and yet you can still want to release negative emotions, because when you release whatever's holding you down, then you become unstoppable and you rise and you keep doing. And when you rise, you bring others with you. So long story short, I got my certification and we moved to Costa Rica. So I believe that was August 2020. Yeah, August of last year, 2023. I quit my job. I quit my job with the government. It was a very secure, very well remunerated job, and we moved to Costa Rica. It's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. Is it without challenges? Of course not. There are challenges. We're living in a different country. Kids had to change schools. It's a whole thing. But is it worth it? Yes, for sure. It is absolutely worth it. It's the kind of life that we want to embody. And then who knows what's next? We went from being people who were very following the path, following the thing, into now people who have a very different view and outlook on life. We see many things and we're the possibilities are endless. And a lot of the tools that I've learned from Yes Supply about the embodiment, the manifestation, the letting go is just so powerful. So then I really went deep and I realized that I was still healing from my burnout. Even though I had done a full year back and a full return, I was still healing. And I thought, well, no, my burnout was a year ago. And I spoke to a very nice, an MD here, but she's a holistic doctor. She treats everything and she looks at everything. And I was telling her I have this and that. And she's but you were burnt out 2 years ago, so your body is still recovering. I'm no, I'm good. She's but it took you how many years to get to that breaking point? So it's going to take you a while to recover. And through a lot of work, I realized that rest is productive. I am allowed to rest, and rest is good. So I did a lot of resting, a lot of meditation, a lot of trying to figure out what the future holds for me, because I was giving this amazing opportunity to figure it out, to take the time to truly figure it out. And I went to this amazing experience retreat in April here in Costa Rica called the Untamed Experience. I'm wearing the necklace now. And Untamed really, really honed things in for me and really made me look deep in me and also figure out what's next for me. And in the Untamed University now, we are going through all of these foundation builders for our businesses. So for example, we've worked on our values, our pillars, our mission, and it's really helped me get really, really specific and honed into why I'm doing this and who I want to be helping. So I gave you my whole life story because I want to explain to you what I want. My why is helping people not get to that point, not get to the burnout. And if I can help one person not go through that, it's amazing. Going through my burnout was scary. It was really scary for me, but it was also really scary to see it through my kids' eyes. I lost my ability to think and reason. I would read the same paragraphs 7 times and it still wouldn't come in. And all of my life, I had been this high achiever, super fast learner, and I couldn't read anything, understand anything. I couldn't reason. I couldn't sleep. It was not a good time in my life. So if I can stop and help somebody come back from there or just not go to that point, then, my life's purpose will be met. So this is why the next step into my business, even though I do personal coaching, I love to do personal coaching. When I do personal coaching, I get to see the results immediately. I see the weight that you're carrying on your shoulders just get lifted. And I see my clients stand taller and be bolder and be themselves, be authentic. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. And doing those things, like getting that confidence and giving yourself the gift of being unburdened, allows you to then be unstoppable, to set down your boundaries, to work because you want to work and because you like to work until 5 p.m. Not till 7, not till midnight. Like, you set your boundaries because you are powerful and you understand that you are the one in control of your life. So, one-on-one coaching, I love. Now, my next goal is to bring this to law firms and legal departments, because I know that most lawyers were also the overachievers, the type A's, the perfectionists, and now that they're parents and they have all of that on top of work, I know what it's like. And I really want to help create more wellness programs in law firms. So I will be working with law firms to create these amazing programs to support lawyers through subconscious mind reprogramming and breath work. These are powerful, powerful modalities that, when done with intention, just have such a profound effect. Because really, and my goal is to reach 1 million lawyers, and it sounds like a lot, but it's not. I want my reach to go global. I want lawyers to understand that their mental health is the most important thing. So if your mental health goes, your physical health goes, your relationship goes, your family relationship goes. Like, the mental health is so key. And when your mental health is healthy, you're a better lawyer, you're a better spouse, you're a better parent, and you're also like a better human. So that's my mission, to help lawyers and help high achievers to unlock the highest version of themselves, and to stop you and help you not get to that burnout point, and just live your happiest life. Like, it sounds tacky and it sounds like ugh, but that's the reality of it. I want people to be happier. I want people to be more fulfilled, to feel like they're in control of their lives, and to do whatever they want. If they want to move to Costa Rica, you're welcome to become my neighbor. Like, I just want people to feel like we're meant to feel beautiful and confident and proud and have all of the best things that are supposed to happen to you. So thank you so much for listening to this amazing long story of my life and my why. And yeah, if you have any questions, send me a DM. And as you can tell, my life is an open book, and I will happily share, and I will happily help you out. Talk to you later.